then to Porsche.
He's going to finish
Then I'm done.
over there.
Yeah.
And then we're going to do an
Want a sip of water, John? I think this is yours.
I'll just stick it in my pocket for now, thanks.
We're all going to start down.
So let me know when. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're still here on the floor of the 2011 North American International Auto Show in Detroit, in Cobo Hall, standing in the Tesla display. We're coming back up. We're live again. Sorry folks, we ran into some technical difficulties there, but I'm still with John Voelker here, and talking a little bit about Tesla, and where were we left off?
I think, well, the Model S is their first mass-produced car. They're going to do...
That they're doing themselves. They're not buying this from England.
Exactly.
Not from Lotus.
Unlike the Tesla Roadster, which is based on a car engineered by Lotus and is partially assembled by Lotus in England and shipped over to the US, this is actually a car they developed themselves or are developing. It's going to be built in an old Toyota plant in Fremont, California, and it's a 5-seat plus jump seats, sports luxury mid-sized all-electric sedan or hatchback if you like. They will have a range of distances, a couple of battery pack options. You can go 180 to 300 miles on a charge depending on which battery pack you buy. And the message Tesla is bringing to this show is we are a real car company. We design and engineer our cars ourselves. We have a team of over 100 engineers, and it's interesting. The phrase Tesla engineered occurred a couple of dozen times in yesterday's press conference because they really want to underscore that in fact they can play with the big boys. They are going to be a world-class car maker with the first all-electric luxury sedan of this sort. Still on track, they say, to be launched before the end of 2012. They've taken a few thousand deposits on the car, and they say they're going to go into pre-production by the end of this year, by the end of 2011, because obviously the safety process to crash test them, get them government approved, is going to take a while.
Yeah.
See.
Hey, let's go to Porsche, because let's go to the complete opposite end of the spectrum.
The company least likely to produce a hybrid car,
yeah, right? Yeah, right. Exactly right. But as you know, in motor racing, they came out with this GT3R with a flywheel in it, and it's a hybrid, electric motors for the front wheels, V8 power to the rear. But what do you make of this whole idea of using flywheels in a hybrid car?
Basically, hybrids are about recapturing energy, holding it in the car, and then delivering it back to either assist your gasoline engine or to drive the car without it. For Formula One racing, where weight is paramount and bursts of power are required extremely radically, but not necessarily for more than a few seconds, a flywheel is the best technical solution. It's the lightest way and the quickest. There is no gyroscopic effect. This is actually the question I get most often. If I've got a flywheel next to me, is there a gyroscope? No. But the idea here is that they raced it in the GT3R hybrid. I saw that car compete at Road Atlanta, actually. Did fine. Looked just like another GT3. And
destroyed the competition, though, no? In the race that you saw?
It was running in its own category. It had a category of one, and it won its category. But they had actually been leading the Nürburgring 24-hour race until they had a problem with their gasoline engine. They won't say what it was, but the gasoline engine actually failed.
And it was like in hour 23 or something like that.
So close to the end. Yeah, it was really... They actually talked about it at Road Atlanta. They had clips from Nürburgring, and then you could just tell they were grinding their teeth because they were so close to winning the Nürburgring 24 hours. But it's not necessarily something that would work for a road car.
Why not?
Because sort of like ultracapacitors, you can deliver the energy very fast, but there's a limit to how much you can store. Think about a Prius. You can actually run for a mile, maybe 2 miles on the electricity that's stored in a battery pack. You can only accumulate it into the battery pack at a specific rate. You need to sort of go 1 or 2 orders of magnitude above that rate in Formula One racing or even in GT racing like this car. But what I think Porsche found is that, in fact, there is a market for green, high-performance sports cars. They put out the 918 Spider as a concept, what, a year ago?
Yeah, I think that was right, yeah.
As a concept, it's the same essential powertrain as the Racer. They got 1,000 orders for it, and that was their benchmark to put it into production. This is a multi-$100,000 sports car, and there are, in fact, 1,000 or more people out there who are willing to write them a check for several $100,000 to have a sports car that will do Porsche performance up to 100 and however many miles an hour, but can also run up to 18 miles purely on electricity, because in Europe, a lot of the city cores are going to go to zero emission over the next 10 years. If you are not on a vehicle that doesn't emit anything at all, you're not getting past a certain point. And so what you're going to see is a lot of high-performance cars, not only sports cars, but also luxury sedans that have 12, 15, 18, 20 miles of pure electric power, which is basically drive your really expensive, really high-performance car from your lovely country estate into the city, flip the switch, drive it electrically into your office, park, drive electrically out again once you're past the cord and hammer it. And that's not something that's happening in the States now, but it is one of the market forces that is driving European high-performance design, and Porsche is doing its own Porsche take on that.
Fascinating, fascinating. You know, Toro Track, did you ever see the purely mechanical flywheel system that they came up with? In fact, Williams Formula One had it with their car. I know they tested it. I don't believe it ever raced. But anyway, Toro Track is the company that took that to commercialize it, to bring to OEMs. And they were pitching that here in town, I don't know, maybe about 4 years ago or something like that. And I just haven't heard of any of it catching on.
The best I can give you, and it's pretty sketchy, is that my understanding of the duty cycles is the best place for a flywheel hybrid is in something like a garbage truck or an urban delivery vehicle, where you have lots of stops and starts. The engine can go on and off. You know, that's sort of the other end of the scale from a Porsche, frankly.
Yeah.
But I know UPS has at least one flywheel hybrid running around, or they did. I don't know how it did because I don't really focus on the truck side of things, but we're going to have all of these fascinating engineering solutions, different types of plug-in hybrids, different methods of storing energy. It's a great time to be covering this stuff on Green Car Reports, and you know, the questions from our readers, people really want to know how this stuff works, and those people who are at the beginning end of it are the evangelists. There will be one car on a street, on a cul-de-sac that has a plug-in, and gradually, like it was with the hybrids 10 years ago, people sort of filter over and they'll take a ride around the block, they'll see that it's a real car, and all of a sudden, the second buyer on that cul-de-sac might think, you know, maybe we should at least think about an electric car. And that's how it happens. It'll be slow, but they're here. This is the year. I mean, 2011, this is the year where you can buy cars from any manufacturers that plug into the wall. Porsche has flywheel hybrids. How different is this than 5 years ago?
John, it's been fascinating talking with you. Thanks so much for taking the time. John Voelker with Green Car Report. It's been terrific.
I can talk about this stuff for hours.
There's no doubt about it, no doubt about it, but I love getting your brain dump. You've got such great information there.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Enjoy it. Thanks.
We'll do. Thanks. Okay, and now we've got to thank IAC again, a leading global supplier of automotive interior solutions and the only global supplier with a singular focus on interiors. J.D. Power's 2010 initial quality survey shows that interior comfort is the second most important factor when people choose a vehicle. IAC recognizes that and develops solutions that make the vehicle interior safer, more comfortable, and convenient for drivers and passengers. And of course, IAC's got a number of products that they offer for automakers to be able to do this, including EcoBlend, where they're making products from recycled and natural materials. They also have an acoustical headliner, not just up there to cover the roof and make it look pretty, but also attenuates noise. They've got their Deep Clear decorative trim that offers unlimited options for a customized interior, and what they call Safe Tech that offers a tunable side impact module in the doors that helps OEMs meet safety targets while saving weight and cost. And those are just a few of the examples that IAC has. Check it out at iacgroup.com. Okay, what's next here?
I think we have someone.
Oh, we do, yeah. Walk this way with me.
John, you can stand up there.
Yeah.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing terrific.
That's great.
Marjorie, tell our viewers who you are and what you do.
I'm Marjorie Krafcik, and I'm the CEO and president of Productions Plus, the talent shop. And I'd like to introduce you to Hetty Popson, who's our executive vice president, who handles everything regarding the auto shows.
So Hetty, tell us, what do you do every day for a job working here at the show?
Oh, well, it kind of varies because we have 9 automotive clients. So we're basically about 10 weeks before the Detroit show opens, we start deciding which talent are we going to use, who we want at each display, do they have the right training materials, what kind of meetings do we need to hold, what are the wardrobe, what do we want the hair and makeup to look like, what's the feel.
Now wait, let me stop you right there because our viewers may not know the terminology. Explain what you mean when you say the talent.
Product specialists are the...
Now what we would have called models in the past.
In the cyber
These
chrome
are
day.
models from like the 1950s and 1940s. So I wrote a book about the history of the auto show, and you are correct, John, at one time they were models. But the people that work for Hetty right now are product specialists because they're very knowledgeable.
Now how do you find these people? How does somebody become a product specialist as opposed to a model? All you had to do was look glamorous in the past, right? What do you have to do now?
Now you have to look glamorous and you have to be very smart. So we look for people that we can bring in front of our clients who have engineering degrees, marketing degrees, sales background, people who are actors, professional public speakers, people that can hold on to a lot of information, retain that information, and make sure that they can communicate that information with the consumer, who in today's world, as we know, is highly savvy, highly tech knowledgeable, and be able to communicate the brand and the messaging all during the auto show.
And the company is Productions Plus?
Correct, the talent shop. Right.
And where are you based?
Well, our main office is here in Michigan, in the Detroit area in Bingham Farms. Hetty is located in our Los Angeles office, and we have also an office in Chicago.
So Hetty, how do you find these people?
We actually do open calls in several cities across the country. We have a director of talent, Lisa Cole, who goes out and scours the United States for the right people. A lot of word of mouth. People send us things. We review every single resume. We look at every single headshot. We interview every single person.
So this is like a casting call for making a movie or something like that?
Constant casting calls. It's a 365-day-a-year
Or cattle calls, as they call them too, right?
The automotive casting call. We also do movies, so we know the business. So it's both movies and being casting for the auto show, so it keeps us busy.
So who does the training of these people?
Hetty is in charge of our training department.
I actually take our training department. We have certified facilitators and trainers. We work with the OEM, so sometimes the manufacturer will bring in their product people, and sometimes we'll actually facilitate that learning experience. And all of our trainings range anywhere from 3 to 7 days, and in most of them, all of the product specialists drive the vehicles as well, so that they can take that hands-on experience, communicate it with consumers, and do competitor comparisons.
And I'm sure you must work hand in glove with the automakers because they design their entire display, don't they?
They do. They have a look. Every single brand, every single exhibit has their own look, their own color scheme. And
Down to the clothes that they wear, right?
Clothes. Yeah. And we have a designer on staff who will design clothes in their exact color to meet their brand specifics. So it can be from a t-shirt to a designer dress. So everything goes on in behind scenes to make this show possible.
Now I've got to imagine too, all this clothing is tailored to each individual person because you want them to look just spectacular, right?
Exactly. It's very tailored. So fittings, and also we developed a makeup company called Purely Pro Cosmetics for the auto show team because they have to have the right colors and everyone has their own sense of beauty. So you wouldn't want one product specialist, female of course, wearing red lipstick and one pink lipstick. It has to be Porsche red or Chevrolet red or something.
Does the talent get to keep the clothes after the show? After all, it's been tailored right to them.
In most cases, yes, but it depends on the manufacturer. A lot of times we'll hold them in storage so that we can use them again for other events or at a later date, but most of the time they get to keep them.
So it's a good job? You get people to keep coming back to do this sort of thing, or after it they go, I'm out of here?
She did it.
I did this for 17 years.
17 years?
And
No
we
kidding.
have some people that have done it for over 20 years. They really make a profession of it. They love it. Automotive gets in their blood, and after 10 years, I mean, they are incredibly valuable to that automotive company. They know 10 years of product, 10 years of history, 10 years of culture, and they know the people in the automotive business very well. So it's a pretty cool job, and people love it.
Hetty, where do you get the talent?
We get the talent from, again, word of mouth or people that contact us.
But I mean, is it all over the country?
All
or
over the country, everywhere, yeah. We have people that live in Arkansas, we have people that live in Boston, we have people that live in Philadelphia, Los Angeles, of course, Texas, everywhere.
So is it a good job? You can make good money at this, or decent pay, or?
Absolutely. You can make a really good pay, and the day ranges, they all vary depending on which manufacturer you're working for and at what capacity. It's a great way to travel. Your expenses are paid. You meet new friends. And there's a whole subculture here of people that are a little family on the road.
I've got to say, they've got to be their own community.
They do, and they stick together, and they exchange information. So someone may be working for Porsche, but they may have dinner with someone from Lexus or Scion, and they're exchanging information. So talk about talking cars. It's like, no matter how beautiful the car is, no matter how great the sheet metal is bent, the car can't talk. So the product specialist is the voice of the car. Can tell you what's under the hood, what makes it special, why this color was developed, who designed it, and they create part of the aura of the experience here at the auto show.
It's a lot of fun because here in the media days, we see them practicing a lot. I mean, they have to practice their lines just like any actor would.
Yes, they do. They have to be show ready. As Hetty always likes to say, we put the show in auto show.
Well, that's so great. Thanks so much for taking the time to talk with me. This is a fascinating part of the business that we in the media, we see your talent all the time, but we really don't know much of the story behind it.
Big story.
Yeah. Thanks so much. Hetty,
you.
Really appreciate it. Marjorie, what a pleasure meeting you.
My pleasure.
Take care now. Yeah.
Thank you.
Real good.
We're wrapping up.
We're wrapping up here, but let's see. Remember, a number of companies made this all possible. IAC is our premier sponsor, and it is a leading global supplier of vehicle interior components and systems. Check it out at iacgroup.com. Our strong supporters are Bridgestone, passion for excellence. Check it all out at bridgestonetire.com. And Dow Automotive, improving durability and design flexibility with Betamate structural adhesives at dowbetamate.com. And Hyundai, think about it, like they say, think about it. Check out, as we showed you before, the Veloster at theveloster.com. And of course, we want to thank UPAC for making this technology, this live view pack, or just live view? Live view for supplying the pack and making this webcast entirely possible. This is leading edge technology. We here at Autoline are the absolute first ones in the world to take this to an auto show. We had it in LA, here we are again at Detroit. And of course, we want to thank our partners who have embedded the show as well. Autoblog.com, CarDesignFetish.com, DrivenMavens.com, and of course that Dutch one that we mentioned to you yesterday, NewAutokopen.nl, and RumbleStrip.net, WardsAuto.com, and WebRides.com.
And also our chat mods.
And our chat, the people in the chat room was Miradart, Sean Lowe,
and Christian Conover.
Thank you guys. Really appreciate your help. And I'll be signing off. Check us out tomorrow at Autoline Daily once more, and then we'll have Autoline After Hours Thursday. We're going to be talking with Camillo Pardo, the guy who designed the Ford GT. That ought to be a fun discussion. Anyway, over and out. Thanks for watching.